Okay, so this is a channel update on what's going on, why I haven't recorded in 2 weeks, or 2 weeks, why I haven't recorded all this week, and why I haven't uploaded anything this week. I uploaded last week, what am I talking about? But I found out that the reason why many things weren't functional in Marvel content, Marvel Future Revolution, especially the ability to purchase gems, is because apparently, remember when I went on a long hiatus for about 2 years without recording anything? Before that hiatus, I started up.
You really did spend a lot recently. Only 10 more left.
I'm gonna pause.
Still,
so he
10 more is
doesn't-
better than no.
That long hiatus, or before that, I created a Marvel Future Revolution account when the game first came out. And then of course I started recording again, and it was one of the first games that I started back in with the recording. Turns out with Marvel Future Revolution, I joined back into the game literally a month after they announced that they were discontinuing online services for Marvel Future Revolution, which means you can't even log into the game anymore, not even for the single player content. So I was not aware of this through the entire time that I was playing Marvel Future Revolution, or since I had gotten back into the game and had played through all the single player content. I was not aware of this. I didn't find out until YouTube recommended a video to me in my recommendations saying, or basically informing the Marvel Revolutions community that they were discontinuing services. I guess some Marvel Revolutions YouTuber who's been playing the game not longer than me, who hadn't gone on a hiatus and had been basically making videos on the game through its entire existence, had informed the community of this cancellation of Marvel Future Revolution services before I started making videos on it. And because the video was old and it took a while for YouTube to recommend the video to me, due to the fact that I've only recently, in the past month or two, started playing it again and uploading videos on it. It took the algorithm that long, 3 months, to realize the YouTube algorithm, 3 months of me uploading Revolution videos before YouTube realized. Because it's not just videos you watch that the algorithm takes into account on what you're interested in. If you're a YouTuber, videos you upload are also taken into account on what your viewing interests are. So if you upload a video on a specific topic, the algorithm's going to know, okay, if you're uploading videos on this specific topic, then maybe you'll like videos of that topic as well. So that's why I got recommended the Marvel Future Revolution video. But it took YouTube's algorithm 3 months to pick up on the fact that I was interested in Marvel Revolution before it finally recommended the 4-month-old video telling me and the rest of the community that they were discontinuing services. And they even had in their video showing you how you can find the information. So I logged in, and sure enough, there it is. September or sometime along then, they are discontinuing services for Marvel Future Revolution. Wonderful! I come back to the game, wanting to play Marvel Future Revolution and hoping to get that game and hoping to play that game to, use it to build up my channel. Just to find out they're canceling it. Wonderful! So this past week I've been trying to find another game. But why find another game when this one you're seeing on screen is available? First off, just like Marvel Future Revolution, I started playing this game when it first came out. I got about maybe 10 hours into the game, and this was before I even started before I even started recording on YouTube. Before I even started my YouTube channel or anything. I got about 10 hours into the game. And the furthest I got quest-wise, or in the Archon quests, is the Floating Palace. Though, of course, if you've played the game, you know the name of it. But for those of you who don't, it is Genshin Impact. There was some research I did before I chose this game, before I chose to get back into this game, because again, it's another game that I played for a bit and then stopped. Though I had a reason for not playing this one. It was because the game was in early access, and the reason why I only got as far as the Floating Palace is because when I was playing this game, this was as far as you could get in the main Archon quest for Genshin Impact, the Floating Palace. Because that's all that was in the game. Once you got the quest for the Floating Palace, the game told you that's all the Archon content. Please wait for future updates. So yeah, I logged off for a really long time waiting for just that way the story content could build up. They could add more stuff in, because I didn't want to just come back to the game just to only play for like an hour. Because all they ended up doing was adding in maybe a couple of story quests that only took an hour to complete and then be without content again. So I wanted more content. I wanted it all at once. And I'm the kind of person, when I want content, I want it all at once. So that's why I haven't played this one in a while. But I figured this game's 3 years old. There's probably people who've already done Let's Plays on it and stuff like that. And oh, was I so wrong. Apparently, most of the YouTubers who do videos on Genshin Impact heavily focus on things like the characters, the best setups and artifact sets for each characters, and the best way to, best setups to use for them to best utilize them. What's the best artifacts for which characters, and what stats, what primary stats, and what substats are the best things you want for these characters, and basically what's the best items to use on these characters, the best weapons, the best gear. Those are what a lot of these YouTubers that I've seen on Genshin Impact are focusing on. They're not really focusing on the Archon story. And if they do, it's usually a brief passing, just a brief passing mention. They're not actually I have not found any playlists from any YouTubers that have gone just dedicated into the main story of the full game. Which, if you know me, I don't care too much for going into character setups and things. Another thing that a lot of YouTubers on Genshin Impact do is mention the bosses and the strategies to use to fight them, and the best dungeons and the best repeatable dungeons to get the best gear. A lot of informational stuff to help you improve your characters, and a lot less into your characters and weapons and all the other stuff. A lot less into the actual story. And since that is, and I feel that a full actual Let's Play of the Genshin Impact story is what the Genshin Impact community needs. Because it is lacking, which is actually the main reason why I went into Marvel Future Revolution, because it was the same thing there. People were more focused on characters and showing you the best ways to gear them up, and doing costume pulls You know, things like that, or showing you how to take on the best ways to take on certain bosses and things like the Blitz, and you know, showing you the best way to enhance your artifacts themselves, the best types of hero cards, you know, like the little cards from Marvel Future Revolution, the little, almost like they look the cards that they kind of look like the covers of like Marvel superhero magazines, but as cards that you can use to also enhance your character and strengthen them. And the best way to get those, and how to enhance the best way to enhance them and make them stronger, and more just focused on the technical aspects of the game instead of the story. So just like with Genshin Impact, it was the main reason why I was doing videos on Marvel Future Revolution. Now, unlike Marvel Future Revolution, Genshin Impact shows no sign of discontinuation of services. There's no sign of that going anywhere. So, and just like with Marvel Future Revolution, because there is a lack of story-driven Let's Play content, that's going to be my strategy. Now, I know you're thinking, dude, you're already at the Floating Palace. Why bother with a Let's Play when you're already 1/8 the way through the game? Well, I found out that there is a way that you can, in a way, restart your account without actually losing your progress and all your characters. Because, yes, your player data is saved to their servers across multiple platforms, so you can transfer your save data across platforms, but that's only per server. So if I log into, say, where I'm logged in now, the American servers, because I live in America, so no duh, I'm going to be on the American servers. If I log into the American servers on PC, my data's there. If I log into the American servers on Android, my data's there. My characters are still there. You know, character data is still there. However, it does not save it across servers. So you could think of it as each server in Genshin Impact acting as its own save file. Now there's 4 servers, 2 of them are in a completely different language, so I'm not even going to worry about those. However, the American server, which is the server associated with where I live, and then there's the European server. So it's almost like you have multiple save files. In a sense, you can have 2 completely different save files on 2 different servers. 2 completely different save files, 2 completely different save games on 2 different servers. Both forms of progression on both those servers are saved. So if I switch to Europe and start fresh, so if I switch to the European servers and start fresh, my save file on the American server is still there. So, my way around this is I'm going to switch over to the European server. I'm not going to do it today, because again, today is just a... today is just a... like I said, channel update. Which I'm going to be using to basically just goof off a bit, I guess. Mess around a bit. And just kind of inform you guys what's going on. So I'm going to switch over to the... so in the next video of this Genshin Impact series that I'm going to do, in the next video, which will be episode 1, I will be on the European server with a completely new save, because it does not save across servers. This will not delete the current save I'm on because that's saved to the American server. So when I switch to the European server temporarily, I'll be starting fresh, in which I will just basically play the game, focus on just the story content, until I reach the quest you see on screen, the Floating Palace. When I reach that quest for the first time, or when I reach that quest, when I finally achieve that quest, or finally gain access to that quest for the first time on my new save, I will switch back over to the old save and continue the playthrough, or my Let's Play of the Genshin Impact story from there. And honestly, you guys can just consider it a completely blind playthrough, even though I've already gotten up to here in my old save. It's been 2 years. I don't even know what the story is. Honestly, I don't even remember what the story is up until this point. Like, Floating Palace, what's that? Like, what the heck is the Floating Palace? Where is it located? I don't know. I've been away for such a long time. It's been 2 years or it's been probably 3 years actually, because like I said, I played it when it first released on Android and PC, and like I said, I only played it for like a total of 10 hours before I ran out of story content and just logged off and waited for more content to come out. So that's basically how it's gonna go. When I finally reach this point, the Floating Palace quest, which it literally just says a new star approaches, Chapter 1, Act 3. When I finally reach this point in my new save, I'm gonna switch back over to the old save and continue the Let's Play through there. And because I seem to be the only, and by the fact that it seems and appears like no one's really doing any Let's Plays on this, then I should be able to fill the niche in the YouTube viewing content market, that isn't really being filled by other big Genshin Impact YouTubers. So, alright, so that's what's going on. That's the update. Let me think. I still can record for a little bit longer, so sure, let's just go goof around a bit. Oh, and I did play the game a little bit, just kind of goofed around and leveled up a bunch. Or not leveled up, not leveled up. Hold on. I'm all over the place. Give me a sec. Okay, I had to pause for a sec because the sound was a little too loud. You probably weren't going to be able to hear me over it. So I turned it down a bit. But I'm basically just gonna, for the next 15 minutes, I'm just gonna goof off. But now, you're probably wondering why the heck I have this guy. He's a new character that's been added recently to the game. You know, he wasn't out in the game 3 years ago. Why do I have him now if he's been gone for so long? Let's just say I did play the game a little bit. Kind of just goofed around and killed random enemies for no reason. You know, went to the dungeon that gives you the Braveheart artifacts. And you just fought the enemies in there over and over again to get more artifacts. That was basically just it. That's basically it. That's all I really did. And in the 2 years that I played the game, was gone, I did log in from time to time. Only long enough to go to the mailbox and collect the free Primo gems that would pop up occasionally. And then log back out. Because I figured really no point in playing the game if I'm letting them build up the story content more. before coming back, so I had more content to play. So I figured until then I would just log in occasionally to collect the free Primo Gems. Let's just say by the time I logged in yesterday, I had 5,000 Primo Gems saved up after 2 years. And I'm like, you know what? Why not? Let's just spin a couple of those Primo Gems in the Wish category. And I got lucky and got this dude for free. So, to show you how, like, butt spanking new this character is to me, like, he's only level 20. He's literally only level 20. But he's actually pretty powerful. The amount of attack power this dude has is like equal to that of like this guy.
Oh, ow! Where did that come from?
This guy, I have him at 16,834 HP. And he does on average just base damage with his basic attacks, not his elemental ones. Around about 400 attack. This guy at level 20 does the same amount of damage. So he's on par with my other characters in terms of being able to handle the level of enemies I'm at. He's level 20. Those creatures over there are level 43, and he kills them no problem. He takes them on no problem. You know, I went through the entire Electro dungeon, the one that had the electric slimes that gives you the Braveheart. Actually, I can show you on the map. The Braveheart items. This dungeon over here. The Ridge Watch. It gives you Braveheart items. I went through the entire dungeon with just this character alone. At level 20, all of the enemies are level freaking 50, and he handled them no problem. Yeah, because being level 20, he's only got 8,000 HP. So he's very prone to being killed very quickly, but when you got someone like this dude who you can just do this
Rain outlines your fate.
and get those healing shards, this dude's like impossible to kill. Even against level 50 enemies. Because his damage is so high his damage is so high for only being level 20. Now granted, I'm sure his attack would be a lot less, because all my other characters, him, and him, they all have HP based artifacts. Like the artifact's main primary function is HP. All of them have artifacts, except for I think the feather, which is always attack. But all of their artifacts, all of the main stats are HP percentage. Every single one of them. So these guys are kitted out with survivability in mind. Him, I figured he's level 20. There's no point in throwing HP items on him for now, because I can't even level him up. You know, his level up item is locked on a stupid electric island that you can't get to until you advance the story, and I'm not even there yet. So I figured if I'm gonna have him have some level of survivability, like they say, best defense is a good offense. And so I just crammed him full of attack until he had about the same attack as my level 60 characters. And with this blue-haired dude's water healing, the 800 HP ends up not even being an issue, because he ends up killing them before they ever do too much damage to knock him out. Yeah, he always ends up getting to like in the red. Like every engagement he's in, especially with enemies that can deal higher damage, like the big guys with the axes. They're like bigger version of these little gremlin monsters. They're like bigger versions of him, of those guys, with the big old war axes and stuff. You know, yeah, against them he might lose he might get dropped completely into the red before I kill him, but he's never died. I've never gotten to a point where he's actually been killed, because as soon as he drops into the red, I switch to this guy, throw up the healing swords, and then immediately switch back, and he's good. He's good. Healed right back up, and so with him, HP's not even an issue so long as I keep him healed. It is, again, with my other characters, they very rarely ever end up in the red because they're loaded up with HP. Combine that with the fact they're level 60, they very rarely...
How about we go for a nice meal sometime?
They very
My
rarely...
treat, of course.
They very rarely ever get into the red. With him, he's constantly getting into the red because obviously level 20, low HP. What do you expect? But the attack that he has is enough to keep him alive long enough for me to get the other guy out to heal him. So, at this point, he's basically the equivalent. I have him basically as the equivalent of a level 60 glass cannon in the form of a level 20 character. So, that's how we're going for me right now. He has the skill set where he does a fire blast, and then it goes on to like a 16-second cooldown. His ultimate, which is this, does a AoE fire blast, and then after you do the AoE area of effect fire blast or fire explosion, all of his attacks, it also converts every single one of his attacks to fire attacks. All of his attacks are fire based. Or his physical attacks, basically when you use his ultimate, his fire attacks, or his purely physical attacks, his ultimate, oh my gosh, my brain, I'm trying to formulate words here and it's not working. Basically with his ultimate, his normal physical, 100% physical attacks, which all characters have a base physical attack, which is this thing here. But all characters have a set of physical attack based, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my gosh, my brain. What's the word I'm looking for? Attack combo. There we go. All characters have their basic physical attack combo that you just button mash to activate. But what his ultimate does is, like I said, it sends out that explosive shockwave. After it sends out the explosive shockwave, every single physical attack that he does for the next like 10 seconds is converted 100% to pure fire based. So all of his physical attacks after you activate that ultimate are turned into fire attacks. So normally an enemy who only takes damage from let's say like the ice plant, that weird ice plant boss, the daily boss, the one that's like a giant ice plant. You can only start dealing damage to it when you knock out its little shield or eye on the side. But you can only knock out the little eye shield or whatever with elemental skills that are particularly not ice based. So you have to use elemental skills to knock it out, to knock the eye out. With him, so physical attacks don't work, but with him, his ultimate converts those physical attacks to elemental attacks. So all of a sudden, every single attack he does, regardless of whether it was originally physical based or elemental based, all of his attacks are suddenly fire based. Even the physical ones. So now those physical attacks that originally weren't doing anything are suddenly just slamming that shield down like that within seconds. So that's his ultimate. So show you some gameplay what I did yesterday when I first logged in after I got this guy. Oh, that's right. This is a fire-based one. I thought this was an electric one. Oh, I must be thinking of the other one. The one up in the... Alright, I'll have to show you later. I thought this was a different one. I thought this was a different one. The electric one I'm thinking of is where you get the resolution of Sonja or whatever it's called. Sonja or whatever. It's a weird Japanese name. I don't know. I don't know the name of it. It's a weird one. But it's one of those dungeons in Mondstadt that gives you the Resolute artifact set. That's the one with the electric slimes. This one's fire-based, so obviously Thomas over I'll call him Thomas. His weird Japanese name, it looks similar to Thomas, so you know what? We're just gonna call him Thomas. I don't do well with Japanese names. I don't. I'm English, okay? I'm an American. I don't speak Japanese. I can't pronounce Japanese names. I'm probably butchering them all to heck. So you know what? His name looks like Thomas. It looks similar to the American name Thomas. So you know what? His name's Thomas now. This guy's name is Thomas now.
Freeze.
Well, I probably could have used Tom against these guys. Yeah, might as well. I have them. These guys are not immune to the fire, or to the... They're not immune to the fire, so we can punch them off. Okay. Alright. Let's go to this guy. To eliminate Ice Dude.
Oh, so sorry. Cool it.
Alright, so we can finish these guys off. Nope, nice try. Stupid gremlin. I don't know what these creatures are called. I never really knew what these creatures were called. All I know is they're annoying. Where is he? Let's do this guy. Nice try. No.
No, my sword! Witness the power of Guhua!
Freeze. Dodge this. Cool it. Don't get frostbite.
And that's that. Alright, well I spent most of my time just explaining what the heck I was gonna do. So I'll end it here. Let you see what I get real quick. So next video will be, ooh! I hope that has HP based. Because if that's HP based, that is really good. Yes! Someone's getting an HP upgrade, because most of my stuff is just the blue stuff. So I'm about to get me an HP upgrade. So, but yeah, I'll leave it here. Sorry, I did more talking and explaining what I was going to do than just playing, but you know, that's what happens with channel updates, so Alright, see you in the next one.